All right, shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahuwah, Ba'asham HaMashiach, wa Malak Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the Father and the Son in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. I want to say shalom to everybody who's on here watching right now and who will be tuning in later to check it out. So today's lesson is going to be called "You're Addicted to Someone Wicked, Break Free, or Spiritually OD." Right? You can be addicted to people, contrary to popular belief, right? Scientifically proven, and also in psychology, you can be addicted to people, right? In this truth, that's a very bad thing. It's a very detrimental thing to your spiritual health, and in general, it's a bad thing, right? So I'm doing this lesson because in the past couple of weeks, right, on a daily basis, I have people reaching out to me, mainly sisters, but a few brothers as well. But mainly just sister after sister after sister on a weekly and day-to-day basis. In the last 3 days, there's been like a handful of sisters that have hit me up about the same issue or same topic, seeking counsel, right? Uh, Going along with or saying basically they don't want to be alone, they want a godly head, or some of them are with somebody who's not godly, but they don't want to be alone because they see the times that we're living in, etc. And some sisters and even brothers, right, brothers as well, that have given into that loneliness and let that loneliness get the best of them, and they quote unquote, are falling for men that are not men according to the scriptures, or brothers falling for sisters that are not um, wife material according to the scriptures, right? So first of all, I would say that's normal. Um, Genesis 2:18 says it's not good for the man to be alone, right? Genesis 3:16 says that a woman's desire is going to be to a husband and that he would rule over her, right? So that's not the problem that you want to be married. Nobody really wants to be alone. That's not the problem. The problem is when they are wicked, right? And brothers and sisters can't give them up and they're trying to live in this truth, right? Because, like I said, you can be addicted, and that's when that old man or that old woman tries to creep back in, right? Because remember, like it says in John the third chapter, Yahuwah Shai, our Messiah, said, you have to be reborn in the spirit and in the water to enter into the kingdom, right? So we can't let that old man or old woman creep back in, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the book of Sirach, chapter 13, and let me see, verse 16 and 17, right? And I'm gonna try to keep it quick and to the point, kind of like yesterday. A lot of the lives that I've done before have gone 2, 3, 4 hours. I'm gonna try and keep them an hour or shorter because we know our people's attention spans can be real short sometimes. So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 16. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. Right? So it's saying everybody sorts themselves or affiliates themselves with people like them, right? And a man shall cleave to his like. You're going to cleave to people that are like you, right? If you're trying to live righteously, you should be trying to get someone righteous. If you're in the truth, you should be getting somebody in the truth. Verse 17, what fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? So it's saying just like a wolf, if a wolf and a lamb were together, what's going to happen to that lamb? That wolf is going to end up eating that lamb, right? That's exactly how it is when you're trying to live godly and you are trying to be with somebody who is not godly. Or if you are addicted to somebody, you just can't give up somebody who is not godly, right? So I'm going to read it one more time. It says, all flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? So you have to understand, if you're striving to live godly, you should not be hand in hand with people that are not striving to live godly, that are not striving to follow the word. Because, like it says here, Amos 3:3, can two walk together except they be agreed? Right? It's a rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical question. No, two cannot walk together except they're agreed. So if you're trying to live out this truth, you're trying to be in the word, and you're with somebody that is not in the word, one of y'all's got to give in. And the majority of the time, it's the one who's trying to live in the truth is going to start cutting corners, right? Is going to start not following the word to stay with that person who is not in the word. In the word, they're living in the world, right? So this is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 33. It says, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. So it's the Most High speaking to us through Jeremiah saying, why are you trimming your way to seek love? Right? Why are you trimming the ways of the Most High? All right, I'm gonna cut off a couple precepts here. I'm not gonna follow this law. I'm not gonna follow that law. I'm not gonna follow these precepts, but I'll still keep Sabbath. But I'll still stop eating pork. Right? You're trimming little things here for what? To seek love, right? To try and get somebody to be with you or to try to be with somebody, right? And this is something that I've been seeing a lot lately. And whether you realize it or not, when you're walking in the truth, you're walking in the light, right? Which the word is the light, the commandments is the light. Yahuwah Shai, the ways of our Hamashiach, that is the light. So when you get with somebody who's walking in darkness, guess what? It's going to start to dim your light, right? It's going to start to dim your light out. So this is Luke chapter 12 and verse 35. It says, let your loins be girded about and your lights burning, right? So in order to keep your light burning, you can't be trimming your way to find love, right? Whether it be friends, whether it be family, or whether it be in a relationship, right? You can't trim your way to find love because the Most High demands that we be set apart from people who are not trying to follow him sincerely, right? This is Psalm chapter 4 and verse 3. It says, but know that Yahuwah has set apart him that is godly for himself. Yahuwah will hear when I call unto him, right? So it says the Most High sets apart people to himself. He sets them apart from the wicked. Why? So that they can actually follow him in sincerity. So they can follow his word and do what they need to do to please the Most High. Right? Then it says, Yahweh will hear when I call unto him. Because we have to understand that when we become hand in hand with wicked people, or if you marry somebody wicked, right? That is going to hinder your prayers if they're not following the Most High, but you are, right? Because how's it going to be? How's it going to look to the Most High when you're praying to him, asking for something, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, you're trying to follow me, but your husband's not. Your husband's being wicked. And if I give you that blessing, the woman the blessing, it's also going to bless the husband, right? So it says, but know that Yahweh has set apart him that is godly for himself. Yahweh will hear when I call unto him. When you really set yourself apart, the Most High is going to hear your prayers, right? Because you're not entangling yourself with the wickedness of the world and with other people. So this is 1 Peter 3 and 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Right? So that's the Most High telling you right there that your prayers can be hindered. Your prayers may not be heard just by the simple fact that you want to be hand in hand with wicked people, right? So this is 1 Peter 3 and 7. It says, Salakia, Psalm 4 and 3. But know that Yahweh has set apart him that is godly for himself. Yahweh will hear when I call, right? So the Most High is going to hear you if you're setting yourself apart. But if you're not setting yourself apart, and if you're hand in hand with wicked people, right? It says if the husbands aren't dwelling with them according to knowledge, right? If the wives aren't doing what they're supposed to do, your prayers can be hindered, which is why it's so important to not even put yourself in that particular situation in the first place, right? So let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 6. It says, now we command you, brethren, in the name of our Adawan Hamashiach Yahushai, that ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after the tradition which he received of us. Right? So there's a couple points to look at here. It says, now we command you. So number one, it says we command you, right? Because this is a command to be set apart, first of all. Like it says in there's many verses, but Leviticus 20 and 26 is one of the most common ones that gets thrown around there, that you're supposed to be set apart. You're supposed to be holy as the Most High is holy, right? Which I'll pull in just a second. So it is a command from the Most High. It says, now we command you, brethren, in the name of our Adawan Hamashiach Yahushai. Right? So anytime somebody says, that's like if I were to say, hey, in the name of Yahuwah or in the name of Hamashiach Yahuwah, and I tell you something, right? That's a serious thing. That's letting you know that what I'm about to say is very serious. Tazadak 144, Shalom, I hope all is well with you. So it says, now we command you, brethren, in the name of Yahuwah, that ye withdraw yourself from every brother that walketh disorderly. So what does disorderly mean? It means out of order, right? 1 Corinthians 14 and 40 says, let all things be done decently and in order, meaning according to the word, right? So this is telling you, if anybody, even if they call themselves a brother or a sister, right? They say they're in the truth, they're in the faith. Yeah, I follow the Most High, this, that, and the other. This says anybody that's walking out of order and isn't following this word, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to withdraw from them, right? So to the sisters and the one brother that I know that have been reaching out to me on this, and I've given little private counsels and stuff as well, but just for anybody else who may have the same question, no, you are not supposed to um, be hand in hand with the wicked. You are called to be set apart, right? And in doing that, you are doing well, right? You're doing a good thing. So this is 2 Thessalonians 3:13. But ye, brethren, be not weary in well doing. See, so like I said at the beginning of this, I know there's a lot of sisters and a couple of brothers that have reached out to me, and they're weary, right? They're weary and starting to give into that loneliness. That loneliness is getting the best of them, right? And they're starting to give in and starting to trim their way for love, so-called love, like we read in Jeremiah 2 and 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Right? So this says, don't be weary in well doing. Verse 14. And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Right? So if somebody's going against the word purposely and you've corrected them and they know they're Israel and they know they're supposed to keep Sabbath and they know their duties as a man or as a woman, etc., according to the word, and they still don't want to do them and they still don't want to follow the Most High, then what are you supposed to do? You're not even supposed to have company with them. That's why you are supposed to be set apart, right? Like we read at the beginning. You're supposed to be set apart from people like this. You're supposed to depart from that evil that they're doing. Because if not, it's going to affect you in more ways than one. So this is Psalm chapter 34 and verse 14. It says, depart from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. Right? Depart from evil. Many times, departing from evil means departing from people that are not following the Most High. Right? Depart from evil, leave from evil, and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Right? And this is why the name of the lesson, it says you're addicted to someone wicked or to people that are wicked, right? It could be your family, it could be friends or relationships, right? You're in a relationship and the person's wicked, but you can't get away from them because guess what? You're addicted, right? And it's just all according to the Most High Spirit. Today, I was talking to someone in my family who was talking about addiction because she's on my dad's side of the family. So, it comes from the seed of the father. And she was saying, yeah, addiction really it runs real wild in our on this side of the family, right? And I was agreeing with her, and we're saying like it's a generational curse, you know. But when it comes to being addicted, you can't get away from something, right? I have many uncles, cousins, second cousins, a lot of people in my family that have different addictions, whether it be to crack, whether it be to cocaine, whether it be to alcohol, right? To fornication. Have an uncle that's literally a pimp, right? And he sells crack. So there's all types of addictions. But when it comes to departing from evil, right? Any type of addiction for addicts, for real addicts, that have an addictive spirit on them, you can't depart for very long, right? And the same thing can happen when it comes to wicked people, right? You just can't give it up. You try to give them up for a few days, and guess what? Now you're in remission, right? I've talked to many sisters and a few brothers over the years that I've been in the truth, and for many of them, it's the same type of situation. Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to leave them, blah blah blah, because they're not gonna follow the Most High, etc. And then a few months later, they'll be like, "Hey, well, I need some counseling. It's not working out with them." And I'll be like, "Well, what do you mean? I thought you departed from them, or I thought y'all, you know." And that's why I said it's an addiction, right? You have to get away before you spiritually OD. So it says, "Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it." In order to find real peace, real spiritual peace, you have to depart from the wicked, right? You have to depart from evil, right? And do good. Because the more you're around evil people or people that are not following the word, guess what? The more those spirits are going to get on you, the more you're going to be tempted to do evil, right? And you're going to give into it eventually. That's why the Most High says, as a law, to be set apart, right? You're not going to find peace around evil. You're not going to find peace around the wicked. And that's why it says, pursue it. It says, depart from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. You got to pursue that. And how do you go pursue something? How do you go search and find something? By departing from something else, right? So depart from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. This is Isaiah 48 and 22. There is no peace, saith Yahuwah, unto the wicked. Right? Think about that for a second. There is no peace, saith Yahuwah, unto the wicked. I see people that are part of my blood family from time to time, and that's the one thing I always think about. It's like, man, it's crazy how restless these people look, spiritually restless, right? I always think of Jeremiah 6 and 16, how it says, when you follow the old path, the good way, which is the word, it will give rest to your soul, right? They have no rest, they have no peace. Why? Because the Most High said there's no peace unto the wicked. So, in order for you, like it says here, when it says depart from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it, right? If there is no peace to the wicked and you're hand in hand with somebody who's wicked, well, guess what? They have no peace. And that's going to rub off on you. The more you're around somebody, the more their feelings and emotions and their spirit is going to rub off on you. So if they don't have no peace, guess what? You sure as hell ain't going to have no peace either, right? And actually, let me get that verse in Leviticus. Um, Leviticus 20 and 26, right? Let me read these real quick while I get that. So it says, depart from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. How can you have peace if you're addicted to something or somebody wicked, right? You're not going to have peace in this truth if you're around evil. Why? Because there is no peace, saith Yahweh, unto the wicked, right? And that's why he commands us in the Torah, which is the law, right? This is Leviticus 20 and 26. And ye shall be holy unto me. And I posted it earlier on my Instagram, what it says, holy in the Hebrew, right? The definitions are holy, a saint, and set apart. Being holy means you're set apart, right? So I'm gonna fill in holy and say set apart instead. And ye shall be set apart unto me, for I Yahuwah am set apart, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. Right? So we have to be set apart from the world and wicked people in order to be with the Most High, in order to follow the Most High's word, right? And it says, "For I Yahweh am set apart," just like Yahweh and his Son, our Messiah, are set apart from the darkness. We have to be set apart from the darkness in order to walk in our Hamashiach, our Messiah's footsteps, right? And it says, "And have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine." When it says severed, if someone severs your arm off, that means they just clean cut it off, right? You can't put it back on. If someone got their head severed off, that's it. There's no going back after that, right? That's how we have to be when it comes to wicked people, right? If they've proved that they are not going to follow after the Most High, that's what we have to do in order to find peace, right? And in order to make it to the kingdom as well. Because like I was bringing out yesterday in the other live that I did, we have to understand that, like it says in Matthew 13 and 16, we have been blessed with spiritual eyes to see and spiritual ears to hear this word. And we see the things happening and we know that this is the truth. So guess what? If you've been blessed with wisdom, that's a great thing, right? That's a strong thing. Like it says here in Ecclesiastes 9 and 18, wisdom is better than weapons of war. Because when it comes to wisdom, right? When it comes to wisdom, that's what's going to get you or allow you to defeat demons in your life, to to take evil spirits off of you, whether it be a spirit of depression, whether it be a spirit of addiction, like we're saying right here, right? The only way that you can get out of those types of spirits, especially being addicted to somebody wicked, is through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? So this wisdom, and remember, wisdom, I've said this many times, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge, many people, scholars, so-called scholars, Bible scholars, have knowledge of the Bible. They can quote verses, they can say this, that, and the other. But wisdom comes with the application of knowledge. So wisdom, actually applying the word, is better than weapons of war. But one sinner destroyeth much good. So one sinner can destroy all that wisdom that you've gotten from the word, right? One sinner could take away all the good that the Most High has done in your life just because you don't want to set yourself apart, right? Which is why the Most High gave you a law and said, be set apart, which is why it said in Second Thessalonians, right? Don't be weary, right? If they're not following this word, you got to note them, you got to mark them, right? And don't have no company with them. Because if you don't, you're giving place to the devil. You're giving place to Satan. You're giving place to evil spirits in your life that are going to destroy you, that are going to make you spiritually OD, like the title says, right? So this is Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 10. Receive my instructions and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Right? So, how many people actually think that wisdom is better than gold? That wisdom is better than silver? That wisdom is better than rubies? That wisdom is better than anything that you can desire, right? Many people don't really think that, don't believe that, and they show that with their actions because guess what? Instead of being set apart like the word says to be, what do? They don't listen to that. Nah, I desire to take away this feeling of loneliness instead. I desire to just have someone by my side, even if they're wicked, right? So that's you showing that you desire something more than the Most High, right? You desire something more than wisdom, and you put a higher price tag on being with somebody or being around somebody than wisdom and then the Most High and the kingdom in general, right? And if you choose that, if you knowingly and willingly choose that, then your house cannot stand, right? If you're hand in hand with somebody and you're trying to follow the Most High, right? You want to, it's like the scriptures say, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. You give into your flesh, and now guess what? It's Jacob's trouble. All hell's breaking loose. And now this is happening. Mark chapter 3 and verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Right? Now you got a house that's divided. Right? And if you keep reading on, it'll say when a nation's divided against itself, it can't stand. Right? When you look at Babylon the Great, the country that I'm in right now, right? The so-called United States, the divided states. Why do you think it's falling so quickly? Of course, because it's part of the Most High's plan, but it's also because it's divided against itself, right? It's divided by class, it's divided by race, it's divided by political party, it's divided by all types of different things. So if your house is divided, right, you're with somebody who's wicked, but you're kind of trying to follow the Most High, but this person is so wicked, they're leading you astray. Your house is not going to be able to stand in these last days, right? Which is why in Second Ezra, the 14th chapter, it says that you're supposed to get your house in order, right? This is Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Right? So if you're hand in hand with somebody wicked, you're holding hand. Let's say you're holding hands with somebody and a nuke drops, and they're destined because they're wicked to die. Well, guess what? You're hand in hand with them. What's going to happen to you? Right? And going back to First Peter 3 and 7, how it said your prayers will not be hindered if you are doing the things you're supposed to as a husband and a wife. Right? There's power in a holy union. There's real power. Two are better than one, like it says in Ecclesiastes 4, right? You got twice as much prayers, twice as much faith, twice as much works, right? Which I did a live about that. Two is better than one. If you missed that, that's another good one to check out relating to this topic, right? Two are better than one in righteousness. That was the title of it. In righteousness, two are better than one. Because if you got one person who's wicked, one person trying to follow the Most High, guess what? Two can't walk together except they're agreed. So it is going to drag you down trying to be in this truth, and at the same time trying to be with somebody who's wicked, right? So it says, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered, right? When your household is living righteously, the husband and the wife, or the husband and the wives are living righteously, it is going to then protect your children as well, right? This is Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. And this is talking, when you read Isaiah 13, it's talking about the fall of Babylon, right? It's talking about Jacob's trouble, World War III, when all hell's breaking loose. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword, right? Everybody who's found in those days that's wicked is going to be put to death. And everyone that's joined with those wicked people, what's going to happen to them? They shall fall by the sword. What's a modern day sword? The gun, the missile, right? Verse 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished, right? So being wicked, like it says, everyone that is found will be thrust through. All the wicked people are going to be killed. Everyone that's joined to them are going to be killed. Their children are going to be killed. Their houses are going to be robbed, and their wives are going to be raped, which is one of the most horrible things that could happen to a woman, right? which is why you should take this advice so it doesn't happen. 2 Thessalonians 3:6. Now we command you, brethren, in the name of our Adawan Hamashiach Yahuwah, that ye withdraw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after the tradition which he received of us. So if you are addicted to somebody, whether it be a family member, you can't get away from this family member because you just love them so much, right? Or whether it be a so-called boyfriend or girlfriend, right? Whether it be anybody that is not living according to the word of the Most High, right? And you don't try and strive to get away from them, right? And you still want to be hand in hand with them, then you know what your fate is going to be, right? You're showing that you love them more than the Most High. And if you love them more than the Most High, then what's going to happen? You're not going to make it to the kingdom, right? We get two more scriptures, and then I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Like I said, it's going to be a short one. I'm going to try and do some shorter lives during the week when I have time. And then I'll do the normal Sabbath lives that I've been doing that are a little bit longer. All right, so this is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 37. It says, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Right? This is red letter. This is the Most High speaking through his son, our Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, saying that if you love anybody more than the Most High, if you love anybody more than this word, what's going to happen to you? You're gonna be put to death. You're not gonna make it to the kingdom, right? You're so addicted to somebody. If you're that addicted to somebody wicked and you don't break free, like the title implies, you are going to spiritually OD. You're gonna be taken out of this thing. Your light is going to be put out, right? Like I read in Luke 12 and 35, I believe, it says, let your loins be girded about and your lights burning. These people that are living in the darkness, if you're trying to live in the light and their darkness and you're hand in hand with them, right? That darkness is going to put out your light. It's slowly going to start dimming your light. And not to like call nobody out. I'm not going to name names or nothing like that. But I actually had two sisters in the last couple of days that wrote almost the exact same thing to me. And I don't think the sisters know each other. It was through Instagram. That one of them said, I feel like my light is getting dimmed. Another one said, I feel like my light is getting put out. Right. So it's definitely a spirit that's going around. Right. It's a lot of spirits around that are doing the same thing, trying to get people away from the word of the Most High. And as the weaker vessel for sisters, especially, right? If Genesis 2 and 18 says that man should not be alone, it's not good for man to be alone, then we know it's much worse for the woman to be alone, right? Which I might do a live about that tomorrow, as a matter of fact, just to go along with this one. So it says, if you love anybody more than the Most High, you're not worthy of the Most High. You're not worthy of the sacrifice our Messiah made, and you're not going to make it to the kingdom. If you're putting anybody over this word, right, then you're not going to make it to the kingdom. If you're allowing people to pull you away from following the word, you're not going to make it to the kingdom, right? So this is Matthew 19 and 29. It says, and everyone that hath forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. Right? Anybody who leaves, and forsake means to leave without the intent of coming back. When you leave somebody and you ain't going to come back to them, whether it be your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, your wife, whether it be that wicked relationship you're in, whether it be children because they're so wicked, right? Or whether it be houses. I know a lot of brothers and sisters that have told me and reached out and said, look, man, I'm in this. It's just the environment that I'm in is completely wicked. and it gets me out the spirit. You know, there's all types of spirits here. There's spirits of weed, there's spirits of alcohol, there's spirits of addiction, there's spirits of pornography, right? There's all different types of spirits, spirits of slothfulness. I feel like I just can't follow the Most High here. Well, that's why this says you gotta forsake houses. How serious are you about following the Most High, right? How serious are you about following the Most High? Are you so addicted to that wicked person or environment that you're gonna let it stop you from following the Word, or are you going to forsake it? Because this is a promise right here. It says, if anyone forsakes them for my name's sake, for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you're gonna receive 100-fold. So do you really believe if you leave the wicked, you'll receive 100-fold? Right? Do you really believe you're going to inherit everlasting life if you leave them? Right? Because it takes somebody who's sincerely trying to follow the Most High to even leave those types of wicked situations. Right? Shalom, shalom, brother. People stumble though. People stumble. People stumble all the time. But when it comes to going back and back and back and back to something, that's not stumbling. That's a choice, right? That's why the name of the lesson is you're addicted, right? You can be addicted to someone or something wicked. It doesn't have to be just someone, right? I should have put addicted to the wicked, right? Because when you're addicted to something, an addict is almost always an addict unless they come in the truth and they're able to break free from that completely, right? They become a new person in Hamashiach, get baptized and repent, and they become a new creature, like it says in 2 Corinthians 5:17. Unless they do that, an addict will always be an addict, right? And I know because, like I was mentioning earlier, I was talking to one of my tias, and she was saying how addiction runs rampant in our family. And she was even saying, look, I'm a recovering addict, but I still say I'm an addict because even doesn't matter how long I've been in remission for, I can still go back to that like this, right? You have to be reborn in this thing in order to break free from that addiction. And what it comes down to is a lot of people, um, they're too scared of losing what they're used to, right? They're too scared of losing what they're used to. They're so used to something, even if it's bad for them, they're gonna stick with it, right? And I was giving my daughters the example the other day, how we stopped eating genetically modified food. We stopped eating foods with BHT, high fructose corn syrup, red 40, yellow 4, all these chemicals that are known to cause cancer because it defiles your temple, right? And then obviously, gelatin and pork and all of these types of things, which that's unlawful. But we even took it further than that, and I was like, all right, these things are very bad for you. They can cause cancer. They're carcinogenic, and we're not going to eat them, right? But when we first stopped eating them, it was like you still crave those things, right? Why do you crave the things that are bad for you, whether it be certain types of candies, whether it be genetically modified foods? You'll crave them, right? Why? Because you're addicted to them. You're literally addicted to them. My ribs, one of my ribs sisters, she's one of seven. Um, it was years and years ago, and she wasn't even in the truth, but my rib was telling me she gave up sugar, and she literally had withdrawals from giving up sugar. She would start having like hot flashes, start sweating and things because her body was addicted to that sugar, right? It's the same thing with anything that you eat. It's the same thing with weed, alcohol, with anything. You can be addicted to anything. Like I said in the beginning of this, you can be addicted to people. Look it up in psychology and scientifically, quote unquote, proven. You can be addicted to people, right? You get addicted to the spirits on people. And even if someone is wicked and you know they're not good for you, you can be addicted to them and you still crave being around them, even though, guess what? They're bad for you. So how do you break addiction? Right? That's through the word. That's through the power of Yahuwah Bashem Yahweh Shai. But mainly what you have to do is, besides the word, of course, right, is you have to completely, you got to go cold turkey, just cut yourself off, and that's it, right? And not give into it, right? And focus on the things that are going to better you as a person, as a brother, as a sister, right? Because like I said, the sisters that were asking about this are were either single or looking for somebody to court, right? They don't want to be by themselves, etc. So you have to get over that addiction by stopping cold turkey and not just sitting around moping and doing nothing and being depressed and feeling bad for yourself. I'm alone, etc. Right? And there's some brothers as well, like I said, but getting to do things that are bettering you as a man or as a woman. If you're a man, better yourself by getting your body in shape, getting your mind in shape, getting your spirit in shape, getting in these scriptures every day, working out every day, except for Sabbath, learning skills that are going to help you that men should know. If you're a sister, you should be taking care of yourself as well, right? You should be working out is a big help when it comes to depression, anxiety, etc. Right? But the number one thing you need to do, and as a sister especially, is start getting to do the things and bettering yourself in the things that you know the Most High requires of you, right? Being a good mom, being a good sister, etc. And that all comes through, we can all sum it up through this Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12 to get over any type of addiction, especially to people that are bad for you. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Yahweh, which healeth all things. Right? The word heals all things. But that doesn't mean I just read the word and, oh, well, I'm healed now. No, that's not what it means. It means when you take heed to the word, when you read the word and then you apply it in your life, right? When you read the word and you apply it to your life, that's how you get over addiction, right? You get baptized in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and you repent of your sins, right? And as you repent, it's going to build up your faith, and it's going to keep building you up and keep building you up to the point where the Most High is now going to deal with you on a personal spiritual level. And He, in turn, will put it on your spirit to be set apart. He's not going to let you be around the wicked no more, right? Because, like it says right here, Psalm 4 and 3, but know that Yahweh has set apart him that is godly for himself. The Most High is the one who puts the Spirit on you to be set apart in the first place, right? If you can't be set apart right now, it's because that Spirit isn't on you. You need to start doing the things that are pleasing to the Most High, start applying His word, right? Start using that medicine that heals all things, which is the word, and start applying it, right? And the more you get in the Spirit, the more the Most High is going to start setting you apart, right? Because, like it says, Yahweh has set apart him that is godly for himself. The more godly you start living, the more the Most High is going to start setting you apart, right? And it says, and Yahweh will hear when I call unto him. And when you're living godly and set apart, then the Most High is going to start really hearing your prayers, right? He's going to really start answering your prayers because it's like it says in First John. The reason your prayers get answered is because you do the things that are pleasing to the Most High, right? Just like if my son came and asked me for something and he's been good all day, right? He's been good all day and or for a whole week. And I'm like, you know what, son? You've been doing what I've asked you to do. Yes, I'll buy you that toy, right? Yes, you can play on the tablet for 30 minutes because you've been good all week. It's the same thing with the Most High. The more godly you start living, the more He's going to set you apart from those wicked people. And in turn, when you start getting set apart from those wicked people, what is going to happen is you are going to start getting peace in your life. Right? I'm going to read these two verses one more time and then I'll go ahead and close it out. This is Psalm 34:14. Depart from evil and do good. If you're always around evil, if you're hand in hand with wicked people, right? If you're addicted to somebody evil, you can't do good because you're always around wickedness, and you can't have peace because you're always around wickedness. It says, seek peace and pursue it. You have to leave one thing, you have to depart from evil, depart from wicked people in order to seek peace, because those people have no peace. So you have to pursue peace by departing from evil. Isaiah 48:22, there is no peace, saith Yahuwah, unto the wicked. So if you want to be hand in hand with the wicked, you can, but you're not going to have no peace because you are hand in hand with the wicked, right? So with that, let me see. There's a couple comments, and I'll go ahead and close it out. Ivan, Shalom, Mak. Hope all is well with you in your house. Shalom, Mak. Most High bless you in your house. Thank you for this live. All praises, Khan. Kal halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises to the Father and the Son. Drea said facts, Khan. So if you are addicted to somebody wicked, again, just like the title says, if you are addicted to someone wicked, you have not been able to get away from them, I'm warning you right now, you got to break free or you will spiritually OD. Your light will get put out eventually. It may not be right now, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but the day is coming where you know you're supposed to be set apart. And if you don't follow it, that light's going to get put out by that darkness. You cannot serve two masters, just like the brother said. Right? So with that, I'll say all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. Call Yahweh, Ba'ashem HaMashiach wa Malaki Hawashai. I hope y'all brothers and sisters staying in the spirit. Most High willing, I'm gonna do another live tomorrow, and then the Sabbath live on Friday, which will be a little longer, as some of y'all know. So shalom and barakatah, peace and blessings to y'all and y'all's household. Y'all stay in the spirit. All praise to the Most